Hello and welcome. I am Michelle Welch, your oh so serious one who cares way too much what you think, but I'm really learning not to give a rat's butt anymore. How's that opening?
Wow.
I'm going to be taking over your intro soon.
I guess I'm going to have to beef mine up a little bit
Yeah,
because I thought you were going with an F-bomb in there or something.
no.
But I am your host, Roger Welch, the not so serious one. Don't give a damn what you think. What's up tonight, Michelle?
Well, we decided to talk about saging again. We titled the show I can't.
Sage that
I'm gonna
shit.
go sage that shit. Sage that shit. Sage that shit is what we called it. We have done a podcast before on saging. And also, so I was looking what number podcast that was. I'm going to tell you it's probably about number 4 is my recollection of our podcast.
Yeah, 3, 4, somewhere in there.
3 or 4.
It was early on.
Maybe. But anyway, there is one. So if you want to know, if you're like, oh, well, I wanted to know why, how we went. Roger, actually, you went totally through it.
Plus, we have an old YouTube video out there,
Yeah.
too, that's got a lot of it. That
Yes.
We just did
If
with
you
the
put
phone.
in on Michelle Sotopia on YouTube and you put in saging or smudging, you will probably get can find Roger's video on that. It's really good. One of the things that we thought we'd just talk about right from the get-go is sometimes there are people who have trouble with a couple of things about sage and a couple of things about smudging. So I'm going to tell you guys what the word smudge means, and then we're going to tell you the issue that people have with it, okay?
Okay.
Smudge, okay, and this is smudge and sage, the definition and origin. The use of incense and other smoke and vapor to connect humans to the spirit world can be easily traced throughout the East, in parts of Asia, and even dating as far back to ancient Greece. The word smudging comes from smudge, which is English in origin. However, the term has been used to refer to smudging ceremonies of indigenous peoples. Now, that will include Native Americans, but it's not only Native Americans.
So what's the date back to that?
Ancient Greece.
Holy shit, that's pretty far back then.
And so sacred herbs and medicines are burned as a part of a ritual or a cleansing or health purposes. So one of the things we want to make sure that we are never doing, and we're cognizant of the fact that some people may think that people who use the word smudge, I don't usually typically use that word, I'll use sage or clear. They think that people are appropriating their word and their ritual. I actually at one point talked to a friend of mine who talked to, I think it was her Indian chief or somebody, an elder maybe.
It was an Indian elder.
An Indian elder. And I loved what he said. He said that why wouldn't we want to share things with other people and share our experiences? And that's how I feel. If I really believe something works, and I believe just as long as people are taking it seriously. And but we don't try to, when we say we're going to sage or clear or smudge, we're not trying to do it their exact ritual for a spiritual ceremony necessarily that would be copying theirs.
Right.
So that's one of the issues, just to hit it dead on. That's one of the things that a lot of people can get, Facebook bullies can get really mean about.
Do you think it's kind of like Kleenex? Think about it. You go to
I don't
Walmart
know.
and you buy Kleenex, right? But do you buy Kleenex brand? It's always they're actually tissues. But nobody says, "Oh, can I get a tissue?" They say, "Hey, can I get a Kleenex?"
Yeah, because now that word has become
It's kind of like
public
Xerox.
domain.
Yeah, it's kind of like Xerox. You're making a copy of it.
So I'm not really sure to answer your question specifically. I don't know if that word smudge has now become so common. I think
Well, I think
saging
it's saging has
Saging
because the action is actually smudging because you're encasing the smokes and the rituals and things like that. But people recognize it as being saging, right?
I do.
I mean, that's what most people come in. We need to get some sage going. You know, and they don't know. When they get here, then we talk about different types of sage or smudging or herbs and things that you can use. So it's almost kind of got to where people recognize it as being saging, even though the action is technically smudging.
Right. And then there's another, the thing about saging, you'll get a lot of people saying, well, you should grow your own. And Roger has a response for that that may tick some of you off, but his response is, what's the deal with growing your own sage?
So you got to be real careful with that. Even is because you can definitely grow your own. In some states, though, there are different laws about you have to be licensed and you have to have permits to grow and to harvest. It's the harvesting side of it that gets you. That's why a lot of times I've had people kind of hit me up on Facebook about it, and with the harvest side, out harvesting the white sage, especially right now, people getting a little freaky on it because they say there's a shortage of it. I've heard there's shortage because of the rapper that died, who everybody idolized because of the sage. He saged everybody and everything and gifted, and that
I've
was a
never
big
even
thing.
heard that.
Yeah, and then there was also there's a shortage of sage because of the the wildfires and things like that. Where we get our white sage from, though, they actually do grow and harvest it, and they are permitted to do that. So it's not,
So
you're not having to
they're
worry
following
about
the
it.
laws and they're
Yeah.
doing what they're supposed to do, and they're not exploiting the.
Yeah, and
herb.
because in Southern California, white sage grows wild, just like here. Well, it's also growing on private property, and it's growing on, government property. Well, it would be like going here and, out to, the government property over here in Dallas and cutting down your Christmas tree. Guess what? You're going to get arrested for that,
Yeah.
too. You're not going to get away with cutting down a
Right.
Christmas tree on government property. At the state park, you can't do that.
Right.
So, this is kind of the things you got to look at and why people kind of get a little freaky about it.
Yeah. And I understand if they, if they're trying to, if they don't have all the facts, but we're just trying to let you know that those are the facts as we've researched, including Palo Santo. We'll end with that one, I believe. With Palo Santo, there's also a thing about people saying you're cutting down the trees for Palo Santo. You're not supposed to. They're endangered. Well, you guys, for the Palo Santo to have the sweet smell, the tree has to be felled or fallen for, I think it's called felled, about for
7 to 10
years.
years.
7
7
to
to 10
10
years.
years.
Yeah.
And
it's
people-
not like just all of a sudden it's, let's go cut a tree down and let's chop it up.
So we got like a 30-minute education of that. From, where were they, from Peru?
From Peru.
Yeah, so where we get
We've
ours
been
is from
dealing with
Peru.
them for years. I mean,
Yeah.
and they're just a really very nice family.
Yeah.
That's their family, though. That's what their family business is. Everything from, they still deal with crystals, but they also deal with the Palo Santo.
Yeah. And so we always kind of look at it because we meet a lot of the miners and we meet the people who are doing it the right way. And so we look at it as be careful, what you say when you don't have all the facts, because you may, maybe hurting a family's business that is doing it totally the proper way.
Right.
Right. So anyway, we were going to do a little bit of talking about the different types of sages. And because one of the biggest things I get in here, and I get confused too, and by the way, when we talk about this, there are going to be more uses. So if you all of a sudden think, yeah, and it's also used for this, and it's used to bring in money, and it's used to do this, it's same with crystals. You can't, it's a short show. We can't go over every single thing that all of these
Right.
could be used for. Plus, I'd just be reading it to you. But we're going to tell you basically the way to clear a house and why you would choose which herb, because that is one of the biggest questions we get in here. People will go, well, why would I get white sage versus blue sage, white sage versus mugwort, white sage versus something else? And so we're going to go through that with you a little bit to let you know. You want to take it away,
Okay,
Roger?
so
You ready?
how about white sage? It's kind of the most common we can talk about. So I brought a couple of sticks of white sage here.
And if
So
you cook with sage in your Thanksgiving
this is a
dressing,
little bit different.
No, but it smells like it.
Smells just like
It smells just like it.
exactly.
It'll make you hungry for Thanksgiving
Yeah.
dinner. It does
even,
me.
Even just holding the sticks, the smell will actually come off and you have it on your hands. If you notice, it's kind of a silvery white finish out, or as it's dried, so it looks really nice. Before it's dry, it is a more lighter green color. It is really used, it's a traditional use of a deep cleansing. I mean, just clearing out that negative, stagnant energy out.
Right.
You know, so that's one of the things. It raises the vibration of the space. So people will use it not only for clearing space, their house, apartment, wherever they live, maybe even where they work, but they also will use it within meditating because it helps raise their vibration while they're
Right.
meditating.
Right.
Yeah.
So I brought, as the crystal to go with that, I brought white selenite, and I'm not sure where I am.
Right there.
Right there. White selenite. I ask that every single time. And I actually told someone one time to use white selenite, and they're like, well, how do you light it? And you don't light the selenite. It's in lieu of the selenite, or the sage, excuse me. You can use this gypsum. It's called selenite. And I use it, think about like going through airport when they pull you out of the line and they have you or security at the courthouse or somewhere, and they have you stick your arms out and your legs out. I do it just like that around somebody's auric field. So to me, it would be comparable to your white sage for clearing anything out that you don't want in your auric field.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and it also kind of seals up your auric field. Okay,
And
so
you
which
can always
one?
whack them with it.
Yeah, and you can always, or throw it at
Whack-
them or something.
Whack a demon in the head. It's like
You
whack-a-mole.
would.
Whack-a-mole.
What?
Whack-a-mole.
I don't know what you're.
Whack a demon.
What?
You never play that game, Whack-a-Mole?
Oh, where you they all pop up and you have to
Yeah.
hit them, that? Like at the
Yeah.
movie theater at
Yeah.
the fair or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could do that with Whack a demon.
Okay.
No?
I
No?
don't.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So how about we talk
I'm not
about
a good audience, am I? I'm sorry.
how about blue sage? So we
Yeah,
we
now
actually
that's when it gets a little confusing. Why would
Okay.
you use blue sage?
so blue sage, and this is crazy. It's like, you know what? We had this here for a while. I mean, this a couple of years ago, and we had like a large jar of it. Looks really cool. It looks very similar. It's a little bit more, I would say, a little more silvery green than the white sage as it's dried, and it's a little more.
Compact.
The leaves aren't as thick.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the best way. The leaves aren't as thick. It's a little thinner.
Smells good.
It smells really good.
Really good.
But people's like, well, what's the blue sage for? And then once we started educating people what blue sage is for, they're like, oh, got to get that blue sage.
What's it for?
So here's what it's blue sage is for: welcoming money, wealth, abundance, health, prosperity, healing, and coolness to your life. How about that? But it's about abundance and it's about manifesting.
Okay.
Okay, that's the biggest thing people need to know about the blue sage. So when you are meditating or you're trying to clear out, you're clearing out, say, the negative stagnant energy.
Right.
Okay, that's where you're coming in with the white sage. But then when you're coming back around and you're going to be bringing in some manifesting, you're bringing in some positivity, you're bringing in that wealth, what you're looking for, right?
Right.
The health, healing, prosperity, things like that. Then you're going to start burning in the blue sage.
So what about? Oh, and I don't think I have a crystal to represent blue sage. So
I probably had a couple of more of these than you had the crystals.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think.
I could have. I'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
Or y'all can, and maybe post which one you think would be good for blue sage. I would just tell you, I have citrine. So citrine is an abundant stone, and so is jade. So is tiger's eye. So green aventurine.
Yeah. So
There,
they'll be good.
there
ones.
you go. There are your stones
Yeah. Yeah.
for blue sage. So what about dragon's blood or?
So, and I actually,
That
this is a
one
little,
looks sad.
Actually, this is mine. It's not sad. It was actually personally mine that I've
It
been
looks
using.
used.
It's mine that I use. So
Okay.
this is actually.
Does that mean we're sold out?
Yeah, actually
Okay,
we are.
we'll get more. I'm like, if he's showing you yours,
We're
it looks
sold
like that.
out.
Okay. We have the resin though.
Yeah, we do have the resin and we do have incense.
Yeah.
So we do have the incense. You know what? The way I look at this is that it's that saging, energy clearing, clearing out the negative, the stagnant, things like that, with that dragon power in behind it. It's like sage on steroids.
Okay.
I mean, let's just think about it like that. It's like sage on steroids. It's just stronger, more powerful. It's just pushing that energy around.
Right. Okay.
What about crystal? You think
Well,
of crystal for it?
I have crystals. I would think numite or obsidian, which is the one I use for mugwort.
Yep.
This is a golden sheen obsidian that's beautiful. We have a lot of pieces of really pretty obsidian. Just pure black obsidian is really harsh. Those who work with paranormal will use it. If you wear it too much and you put it on you or you put it on a client, past traumas can come up. So I like to go with a little, first of all, it's just pretty to have that golden sheen in there, and it softens it and warms it up a little bit. But I would say that for your Dragon's Blade, anything that's a little stronger crystal, and obsidian certainly is.
Okay.
All right. It's actually a volcanic glass, but we'll just call them all crystals.
All
right.
crystals.
So what about mugwort? Do you have that one next?
So actually, and this is going to be our question of the evening.
Okay.
Okay. Mugwort also has another name to it.
No Googling.
No Googling. But mugwort has another name that I always tell people and teach people about mugwort. So mugwort, you got to be careful with. Mugwort is it is poisonous. If you, people have made, dang it, Ashley, she was fast. She was
Ashley.
like, bam,
Yeah,
I
she
know
knows that.
But the thing is with the mugwort, or also known as black sage, you can make teas out of it. People will make teas because it creates lucid dreams out of it.
And
Problem with that
psychic abilities.
Yeah, and the psychic abilities and things like that. The problem with that is it can cause kidney damage. Okay, drinking the teas.
I don't want that. Any more of that.
You've already had plenty of that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I've heard people talk about smoking it even. And it's not actually recommended for that, because if you read anything about it, it says to use in well-ventilated areas. Now, when you are going back and watching those old videos of ours, first thing we tell you to do is open all the windows and doors. There's a reason for it. Things like this is very toxic if you breathe too much of it in, and it can damage your lungs, your body overall. So you got to be kind of more careful about it.
Right.
But with this, it's a very strong purifier. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the thing you got to think about, and it does help with those lucid dreams, that psychic ability, things like that.
Right.
That's why sometimes people will use it, and like I said, use it sparingly. Don't go crazy by smoking, all your whole place up and going to bed with it all smoky.
Let me smell it. I remember mugwort doesn't smell that great.
Yeah.
Actually, this smells good.
It doesn't. That one doesn't.
There's
smell
something
too
else
bad.
that doesn't smell. Yerba Santo, I think.
Oh, I like Yerba Santo.
There's something that doesn't smell
Yeah,
good.
I like
All those
Yerba
so far
Santo.
smell really, really good. I like them.
Yeah.
I would say obsidian for that one too is what I had down for that.
You had obsidian down for this one?
I did.
Yeah.
Because of, and they kind of cross over. I would also say probably Numite or Astrophyllite. I think I have an Astrophyllite. No, that's a Shungite. That may be Astrophyllite. I can't
Let's
tell.
see.
It's spelled like
This is
Astrophyllite.
Astrophyllite.
Okay.
Yeah, Astrophyllite.
So I would say even that for lucid
Lucid dreams.
dreaming
Yeah.
anyway is Astrophyllite and astral travel.
Yeah.
All right. So what's next?
How about Yerba Santa?
Yerba Santa.
This one actually, to me, because as it's dried, it's very, very kind of dry, very dry leaves in it. But it also, to me, always looks like dried tobacco. Growing up in Tennessee, we used to go up to Kentucky. I used to have to work in Kentucky every so often, so I'd go up, and there would be the tobacco barns where they dry the tobacco, and they smoke the tobacco to dry it. Is what they do, and you can smell it you can smell it before you ever get there. And to me,
me
this
smell it.
always does have a tobacco-y smell to it.
Oh, I like it.
I like it. I do like it.
Yeah, that just shows, that your olfactory is seriously, it's so tied to memory.
Yeah.
And so, if there's a smell that you really enjoyed as a child or at some point in your life, it's that I was talking about that to my hairdresser today, and she was like, "Look, y'all, I got blue hair. The purple didn't take, but there's blue in the back. Business in the front,
It's like a mullet.
blue in the back. It's not a mullet
Oh,
like that.
you mean
though.
business in the front?
Well, it's like
party in the back?
normal in the front.
It's
and
a-
party in the.
he's-
I guess
he's
that's
like
what
a-
you say for mullets. And y'all, we found a picture of Roger. We need that picture.
Hey, Lizzie had it.
Lizzie had it showing us, and he definitely was sporting the. You had the mullet for sure. It was a complete mullet. But anyways,
Seriously?
talking to the
Y'all,
her
y'all
about how
focused on the mullet, didn't focus on the fact I'm wearing my Letterman jacket with
we
the
didn't
letters
even
on
make
it
it
and
down
everything.
past your mullet. That's
swear.
as far as we could go. But my hairdresser said that she actually has her grandmother's perfume, and she doesn't wear it because it's clearly something that her grandmother would have worn.
Yeah.
But she keeps it so that she can kind of connect to her grandmother and feel like the smell of her grandmother.
Yeah.
And I told her maybe put a little tiny bit on her pillow like she would.
Yep. That'd be good. Idea.
Lavender or something. But anyways, the smell, you're going to be drawn to certain things because of memories.
Well, the cool thing about this is kind of geared more Native American cleansing, spiritual cleansing, but it's also really good for purification. It's good for renewal. It's great for just uplifting the mood. Okay, just making things feel good.
It seems like if you were really going to talk about somebody's traditions and their ceremonies and their spirituality of it, that shows me that always people may not know and they haven't researched, because Yerba Santo, would be to me more of a. I mean, that's what it's for. It's a very specific ceremony, right?
Right, it is.
Yeah.
However, I did not say this. Got to always put that in there, right?
Yeah, you didn't say it, but somebody said what?
But somebody, Doug, said you could actually smoke this. And I've never tried it, but one day I'll try it.
It looks like you could.
Yeah, it's so, like I said, it has a
Like a
tobacco-y
big old
smell
fat
to it.
joint.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
that's what it looks like.
And
But-
you don't, Roger, just so y'all know, Roger have I said this before? Repeat myself. He has the socks. He has the cards. He has the, what else do
Ashtray.
you have? Ashtray.
Lighters.
He has lighters, all this stuff that has like hemp, weed. When we go to Colorado, he does not partake in any of it, but he buys all the accessories. Let me tell you, it's hilarious. Yeah, you do. All right,
Shirts,
so
T-shirts.
I don't know why I don't have a crystal for any of these. What have I skipped?
What did you skip over there?
I skipped
Uplifting
something.
mood. How about citrine?
Oh, well, were you going to go over black salt? Because I chose black tourmaline for black salt.
Okay.
So that's not a sage, but just quickly. Black salt, why would you use it? Black tourmaline, I can tell you you'd use that to ward off anything, absorb, deflect, transmute negativity, and the black salt.
So kind of the same with the black salt.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
thought those went together really well.
Yeah.
And black salt, you would, or even sea salt or Himalayan salt, you can put around your windows and doors.
Well, I mean, you can use our sea salt to make your black salt.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you can
duh.
do that.
Yeah, you can.
So it's just, just a little bit of process within it, but yeah, you can do that
Yeah.
too.
So I would say that for black tourmaline for your sea salt. So that's what that was for. And then what was next?
Yeah. So what we have? Oh, come
And
here.
here's the Palo Santo.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. First, I want to
we're
talk
not
about
there
the cedar. So I actually have some cedar sticks here. We sell these. These actually came from Tennessee. My dad cut them up for me and sent them to me. Cool thing about cedar, it smells so good.
It does. Let me
It
smell.
smells really good. But it's a slow burning, so it's not going to flame up on you. Like when you light this, you can take these sticks. They're kind of thin, so you can light these. It's going to be a slow burn. It's not going to have a flame, like a piece of oak or anything like that. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
really
because you kind
for-
of have to light it over and over and over again.
you do, or have a fan blow.
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of
not
keeping the
coordinated
flame
for
going.
enough for all that.
Yeah.
So
So, things like that. My fan from Roger, not this Roger, from my friend Roger. But with this, it actually brings in the renewal side, protection, and grounding because of that kind of that earthy smell within
Yeah.
it. But it's a very grounding and protecting side of for.
it starts to bring
cedar.
in the positivity and sweet, though, right?
Exactly.
Because it has a sweet smell. You can get it in oils. We did have it for selling oils. I think we sold
And
out.
sometimes, like I brought this one. This is actually a blend of white sage and cedar leaves, not the sticks, but the leaves themselves. So the sage is pretty strong in there, so it kind of takes over a little bit. But it does have the cedar in there too. You can see them right there. But I like the
Kidding.
sticks. I do like the sticks.
Yeah.
So that's what I like is the sticks. Very
What else?
clean smelling.
Well, and I'm trying to. What do I have all these crystals for? I know that one's for that.
Yeah.
So
what you got
I
over there?
have. Oh, for Yerba Santa,
Okay.
the one that he said that is like tobacco smelling, and it's for more spiritual practices and purification. I did shungite because that's exactly what shungite's for. So this is like a shungite bowl. I have a piece of. That's not a shungite, but I have a shungite sphere on a little grid by Doug and
From
Marina.
Doug and Marina.
From Smart Ash, and I have a little cube. Shungite's all over our store. I wear it every day.
Yeah.
So it does ward off EMFs, but it does purify. It can actually purify your water.
So I didn't grab pine. We sell pine bundles. They're about the size of, that size. Okay. So they're probably about 5 inches, a couple inches in diameter.
And you were laughing at me last week.
At least I didn't go like this on it. I mean, it's
Gosh,
like,
don't
what the
do
hell?
it.
And if you didn't see that, go back and
No,
watch.
don't.
Oh,
for many
don't do
reasons.
that?
Don't go watch me do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I look like an idiot.
So pine is actually cool. What the bundles we have are the pine needles, and they're tied together as the bundles. Pine's good for magical practices, but it's also great for cleansing and removing negative energy because of that cleaning smell to it. Very clean smell as it burns, right? But it's also great for manifesting.
It is, but I know that that's why it's a really good thing for work. If you have like even a green pine candle, or just you take some pine. Christmas is a great time. You're going to have pine. But I'm from East Texas, so there are pine trees everywhere.
Everywhere.
And so, but pine, because you're going to bring in manifestation of whatever it is you're wanting, prosperity, abundance, with it's usually a green candle if you use a candle. But if you have the scent of pine, it's also for any negativity around you at work and stuff that you don't want. So I think pine is perfect to use at work. Even to have some just loose pine stuff sitting in a bowl, nobody's gonna know what it is, and put.
Well, that and of course this time of year you can get the little pine candles and.
Right, I always had a
nobody
pine
cares.
candle when I was at the law firm. I had that, and even though you're not supposed to light it, every now and then I just light it.
Well, you can always get the little candle heaters.
Yeah, that's just a lot of work.
You just plug it in the wall and turn on the switch. What the hell are you talking about?
It's just I just never knew what those did. I missed that memo about how to use those things.
Okay.
I just use candles the way you're supposed to use them.
Burn them.
Burn them. All right. So what's next?
All right. So we didn't have any. Well, we had loose, not any sticks of rosemary. Okay. You can even use rosemary. Great for stimulating action, movement. So if you're trying to speed something up, it's a good way to speed things up, burning it around the house. And it smells good too.
So it speeds things up.
Yeah.
It's kind of fiery then.
Kind of fiery.
It's kind of like cinnamon.
It increases energy, clarity of mind.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of a cool one there.
Did you do Palo Santo yet?
No, I was going to save it, but we can talk about it. So
I
have
actually have a crystal for that one.
You have Palo Santo crystals?
I do.
All right, what you got?
I've got black kyanite. So tell what Palo Santo does, and then I'll tell you why it's black
Okay, so
kyanite.
Palo Santo is a spiritual purifier and cleanser. Comes from Peru. We already talked about that. You can actually, there's several countries it comes from. What we have comes from Peru. It has a kind of earthy, sweet smell to it. I love it for meditating. I loved using it also after I've saged my space, is to burn it afterwards. Not only are you getting kind of that extra clearing, but you also have that positivity moving back in around everything.
I love how it smells. I have
And
an oil in it too.
Yeah.
That one's also hard where you have to keep lighting.
Yeah, this one you got to keep it lighting, or my handy dandy
Yeah, use
feather
that.
fan to keep it blowing.
So I chose black cyanide.
Cyanide? Cyanide?
That's really purifying. Black kyanite, and this is like a big, huge piece of. So it looks like a broom. Black kyanite comes in different colors, but black is the one that's going to get rid of like psychic vampires, people globbing onto you, things that you don't want. It's going to clear things out. Palo Santo means holy wood, just so you know what that means. And so it also is something that's was considered very a sacred use. But many people use things like for sacred uses. Frankincense and myrrh is used in Catholic Church. And I don't know what those are called.
Scent burners? But they have a
That they
different
swing.
technical.
Maybe there's a technical term.
There's probably a
Y'all
technical term,
probably
but it's
know
instant
if you're
burner.
Catholic, and but that's used. That's used literally. Some of them, including mugwort. I mean, I said this to somebody, and I'm clearly not good at sales because I said, "Yeah, it's good for exorcisms," and they were like, "Oh my God, I'm not buying that." I was like, "No, you really have stuff in there you don't want." So the Palo Santo, one of the things you said, I don't know if you were talking about Palo Santo, but about purifying. When we were talking about the purifying ones, which I did shungite. But Palo Santo also is a purifier, and it is known to relieve symptoms of headaches, inflammation, emotional trauma, stress, colds, and much more because it really clears out. One of them has an antibacterial effect, though. It's the one you
White
just
sage.
white sage.
White sage has an antibacterial.
Okay.
It's great to use just every so often because it kills the bacteria in the air and around.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And what else?
All right. So actually, I got.
How many more do you have?
I got all types of things.
I thought we were just covering
like,
sage.
No, we got
Okay.
no. Well, we're going to talk about things you can burn, right?
Okay.
Bay leaves. More than just cooking in the spaghetti sauce.
I don't cook. So I don't know.
So you're gonna love this. Okay, so bay leaves, there's a lot of things you can do with it. You can burn them. Okay, that's a
Right.
big thing, right? When you do burn them, it actually helps relieve anxiety.
Mm.
So you burn it
I
kind
need a
of
bunch of
around
those.
yourself.
that.
Reduce inflammation.
That is
It also boosts your immune system, increases alertness, and opens respiratory system, and increase mindfulness.
You can write on them. When you're
Yeah, that's
setting
what I was gonna say.
intention. Yeah.
Other thing is that with bay leaves, it's actually a great thing to use for manifesting. So you can write what you're wanting directly on the bay leaf, and then burn it, and as you're meditating with it,
Okay.
and you burn that with it. Okay, so it's really cool to use the bay leaves for that.
All right.
Okay,
Well, I don't have crystal for that because you didn't tell me we were having that one.
sorry, you told me grab herbs and talk about them.
The last one I have is the sweetgrass.
Okay, we got sweetgrass right here. Look, sweetgrass.
What is this?
Oh no, that's the one with the cedar in it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, here we go.
So sweetgrass smells really good. Really sweet.
Yeah.
Hence sweetgrass.
Yeah.
Is
Usually-
it always in a braid like this?
Yeah, they actually when they cut it, the grass, they braid it right then and dry it. A lot of times when we get it here, it's a lot. I mean, because it's just been cut and braided, so they're real green. They just sometimes they'll have like hemp string tying the ends together, or this end. They because it's grass, they can just tie it and it holds really well.
So, like, what would you do? Where would you burn it? What
So,
would you do?
once again, this is more kind of a spiritual cleanse type process. But also, what I like about, especially the braids like this, is you can put the braids over your front door, back door, kind of that cleaning of energy coming around the front door, back door.
So, if you were going to burn it, I
But
know
if
we
I
said we weren't
burn
going to
it-
go into it, but I'm curious. Do you just burn that end?
You can take scissors, cut this up a little bit. You can actually, if you leave the braid, you can light it and burn the end,
Okay,
fan it.
fan it.
You can also do charcoals. I usually do use the charcoals because it is believe it or not, if you would think because it's grass, it would burn really super easy and super fast. It doesn't. But what I do, I mean, I usually put it down on top of the charcoals and let it burn off
Right.
the charcoals. But
So-
it even has a great smell burning, so.
It smells really good. So
Yeah.
the crystal I chose for that is citrine or citrine because it is a stone. It's a feel-good stone. Not only is it the merchant stone, I don't know wherever to put it. Not only is it the merchant stone, so it's great to put in your wallet to always have money and things like that. Or if you have a store, put it up where you check people out. If you're, a hairdresser, put it on somewhere near your station. But it is also a feel-good stone, and it brings in the good and brings in the sweet once you've cleared out the ick.
So another thing I forgot about is also helps with removing obstacles. A lot of time, always forget about that one, but it does help with removing obstacles out of the way. Burning
Overcoming,
it
yeah.
and overcoming those. Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Perfect. All right. So that's the stuff I had for sage. So those are some of the different types of sage. You can get really overwhelmed walking in our store if people will help you. But don't be afraid to ask, or any store where they have all the stuff, because there's so much and there's so many that have multiple uses. It's all about your intention. But, you kind of want to go with the one it says to use. We have books that will tell you. A good one is Scott Cunningham. He's known. His books are very well known. And one of them is Encyclopedia of Herbs. And I'm reading one right now. I meant to bring it in here and I didn't. It always happens to me, but it's at the store. It's a curio and Mojo making. It tells you how to make the little Mojo bags. But it goes through crystals that would be good for different things, and it goes through herbs that would be good to put in there. So, sometimes you can pick those little things up, and of course you can Google it. I like to read, but you can Google it, but you're going to get a lot of different answers sometimes when you get into Google land. So one of my recommendations is to get an author you like. Get an author you like, or somebody that you trust what they have to tell you, and that this is a good, easy resource. And we do have those. Plus, in the store, we have for our incense, we have a chart that tells you, a little plaque that tells you everything it does. And on all of our herbs, we have explanations of what they do for you.
So this is actually what we gave away tonight. Ashley, you were fast on the draw there. But this is actually a couple of little 4-inch white sage with lavender and flowers.
Oh,
So got these for you.
Blue.
Okay. And they have the lavender. Lavender's great for, just the healing of the home, brings peace, joy, things like that. So these are really cool. We don't always have these with the flowers, but they're really nice. Even if you're not burning them, it looks kind of nice to put them in your altar or set them around the house or anything like that. But but
pretty.
you definitely can burn them with the flowers, the lavender, everything all at one time. So these are yours, Ashley, when you get here.
And one thing that we didn't say about the just dragon's blood, just briefly, if you said it, I'm sorry. I said we do have resin, but that is what it is. It's sage. Is it white sage with resin on it?
Yes,
dipped in
it's
resin?
sage, and then they coat it really heavy with the resins.
Yeah.
Because that's what dragon's blood is. They just grind it. It's a grind the resin down to where it's just a powder.
Yeah, really fine powder.
Yes.
All right. So if we don't have any questions on any of that, then
Are there any questions? I mean, Tomas said maybe we can use the bay leaves in the chicken soup, and I'm okay with that. When you bring a soup,
don't ever put that you're making something or cooking.
That's right, because somebody owes me a pie.
Yeah,
Amy.
Amy was talking
Amy's
about
gonna bring me a pie.
and he's like, "Well, if you're going to post about it, you're going to make me one, please, right?"
Yeah, somebody was supposed to bring me
just the way that
banana
Roger's
pudding.
heart is banana pudding.
Yeah, nobody brought me banana pudding yesterday after I posted.
What's the
Somebody
thing
bring
with
me
you
one.
and Carla? It has to be real
pudding. Not
real pudding.
Not,
it can't be
not
the
Jell-O
flavored
pudding.
Jell-O pudding.
Not Jell-O
That
pudding.
does not work.
Nope, no Jell-O pudding.
But I eat my banana pudding heated.
In vanilla wafer, I like vanilla wafers in it.
Yeah.
Lots of vanilla wafers.
All right. So, do we have time for readings?
You got a few
We
minutes.
started a little bit late. Okay. So, what are we reading with? Did you bring any cards in here?
Oh yeah. Did you get any cards? Well, what were you doing? Here's what I got. I brought in the Urban Tarot, okay, by Robin Scott.
I'll read with
Or
Churros.
I got Churros.
I'll read with that.
Churros Tarot Grand Lux.
I'll read with Churro.
Churros. And I brought the original Rider-Waite.
All right. So I'm reading with Churro Marchetti's deck. And
Oh, wait.
Churro's been in the store.
Oh, I got it all hooked up. Lexi's bringing me soup. She's bringing me fry bread. I love fry bread.
When is she coming?
When you coming, Lexi? I want some fry
Oh,
bread.
we're supposed to be going there.
Oh, can we go
Yeah.
there?
Sometime
go there.
soon, we're supposed to be going to South Dakota.
Oh, it all runs together. Yeah.
You better not say that. That's like saying where you're from in Tennessee, right? It really does run together, though.
Yeah. Have you seen Tennessee? It's one freaking long ass state.
Yeah. All right. So
Takes
if we
like
don't
a
have
day to
any
get across it, kinda like
questions,
Tennessee or Texas.
if we don't have, let's just see. Do you want to do the same? You want to just do where you read one and I read one and they pick, or do we want to do some readings for some people? Not too long, but
Oh, and Acey's gonna bring me some banana pudding.
okay.
She
This
knows how
is
to make it,
turned
too.
into a Martha Stewart show.
She knows because she's got it figured out because she knows it's a double boiler custard. That's right.
Okay, so I'm so ADD. You know where my mind went? It went to The Masked Singer. Y'all do not ruin it. I know
fell
it's already
asleep
over.
and I didn't see it.
I know it's over. We were watching it, and I know it's over. But they said
Is it
that
already
they
over?
thought that chicken. I don't know. I thought so. We're always behind. I thought that chicken, the Christmas tree was Martha Stewart. And I was like, oh, please, that's not Martha Stewart.
Oh my God, no.
All right. But you know
She
you're
be
getting
rapping
old when
like
you don't
Snoop
know what
Dogg.
half those people
She be
are. It's
rapping
like, I
like
don't know what
Snoop Dogg.
any of these people are. They were like, it's Marshmallow. And I'm like, who the
You
frick
know who
is
Marshmallow was?
No, I don't. And I don't care. Should I?
No.
I don't know.
Marshmallow. She said it, not me.
I will let the younger kids. I mean, maybe I'd meet Marshmallow and I'd know what I was missing, but no. All right. So who are we reading for?
Nobody said anything over here.
Okay. So we're not reading for anybody.
No, everybody's talking about cooking, and I'm like getting hungry now. Where are you taking me to dinner tonight?
Okay. So what we're gonna do is, you can either choose Roger's reading. Just set your intention right now that the reading that we're gonna give is for you tonight. Whichever the reading. Oh my God, the reading that I can't formulate a sentence. The reading that you pick, if you pick Roger, even though we're only doing 2 readings, that reading applies to you. So set your attention right now. And then if you pick Michelle, the one I do is going to apply to you. And we'll say for,
So either
I
pick
feel like
me
it's the
or
coming
Michelle.
weeks. Okay. Yeah. Go.
Okay, so if you picked me, I got the Justice card. Okay. The one thing about this is that it's actually shows a very good picture of her blindfolded, Lady Justice here, and it's a police officer holding a sword even. But what I clued in on was actually that blindfold, and it's really is the fact that there's a lot of things going on for you and a lot of things moving around you that you're not seeing happening. So you might want to start easing that blindfold back and really looking at the whole picture of things going around you. And that's pretty much all I got.
Awesome.
Because you don't let me pull one card.
Well, we could have pulled more if you wanted to.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I pulled one because I try to follow the rules, which is so difficult. Okay, so if you pull
You set the rules. What the? Seriously?
I guess I set them to break them. But here's the thing. If you drew mine, it is the 3 of coins, which is also known as the 3 of pentacles. And I will show you the card from Chiro's deck. Just a teeny bit of background, short. The 3 of pentacles is typically about somebody being a skilled craftsman. So you've got the person who has the money to hire you for a job. Then you have the one who's going to design it, like say an architect. Then you have the person or people that are actually going to build the church. And it was back in the day when Rider-Waite was created, it was like a church. And who had the money back then? The monks. So they would be the ones who'd come. They would fund the project, fund the job. So you'd have the money. Then you'd have the person who designs it, the architect, and then you have the person who actually builds it, the construction workers, right?
Yep.
And but they're skilled at like either they lay the bricks, or they're the masons, or whatever they did, the metal work. So the message is to know which one you are. And just because I'm getting this for all of us, sometimes it's okay to be well-rounded in a project and to try to do all the parts, but typically things come together a lot better when people know that this is what my strength is. My strength is actually that I'm going to back the project and then I'm not going to micromanage it. Or my strength is that really I don't know how to design it. I just need to be told what the design is and this is how I'm going to do it. Because if you get everybody, and you've seen this if you've ever built a house, you get all the subcontractors, the minute something goes wrong, they all go like this. They point at nobody. They are all pointing at each other. So, and then nothing ever gets accomplished. So what I'm getting, if you chose me, is know within your job or your house or even for the holidays, I don't mean to stay in your boundaries and keep a role. I don't mean that. But for things to go smoothly, know where your strengths are and play to your strengths when you're in a group. And, at other times you can work on those things where you're trying to grow and maybe where you're not as strong. Mm-hmm. Okay? But I'm getting strongly I love this card. Because I used to look at it in the traditional Rider-Waite, and I thought it was somebody holding a baby, like up to be they're standing up on something. I couldn't tell what it was. But Chiro does a really great job of really showing what this card's about. And so it's about being skilled in what you know. And so that's what I'm getting for this and going into the holidays. Yeah, I rambled, I know.
So skilled and know your shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And don't try to take over other people's what they're better at.
Makes sense.
Right. It's interesting because we were talking about, the fact that everybody thinks they have to do see things a certain way. They have to go to college, or they have to do this, or they have to, their life has to go in a certain order. I don't believe that. I mean, you could learn a trade, and that's what we've talked about a lot lately. No, play to your strengths. Or you may be the rainmaker. You may be the one who makes all the, that your job is just to, and then don't be Jerry Jones. Don't micromanage the whole thing, which he's done from the day he got here. He has. I met him, he went and spoke at a women's thing 2 days after he moved to Dallas, and I was like, oh, man. I knew from the get-go.
You got your soapbox over there?
You're trying to change it. No, I'm just saying.
She's got her soapbox over there,
Got to
guys.
get somebody mad at me tonight.
Way to go, Jerry Jones
I
on
could
it.
care less if he's mad at me. That makes, trust me, zero difference to me. That's not loving of me, is it? Okay, I do care. All right, so if you guys, anything else?
Oh. No.
So come in.
We're just
And
been busy.
Get your
It's a busy season.
herbs here. Well, so we do have a couple things coming up. I make it really hard to know when to play the music. We got a couple things coming up.
Saturday, all day, we have is the Plano Holistic Festival of Life. That's out at the Plano Convention Center.
Store will
Right.
still be open.
Store will be open.
We're open
but
on Mondays in case y'all
I'm
don't
grabbing
know.
Lizzie and her and me and
I speak.
Michelle's
I speak
speaking.
at 12:30, I think.
We're going to be out there
Or
hanging
1,
out.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
And then
Zoltar will be there.
then we have our Christmas party.
No.
Oh,
then,
you have this Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
You
I
have wire wrapping here, and
You're doing a party.
I'm doing a party down in Bishop Arts, and it's shopping. You
Shopping
can
for a
look
cause or
on-
something?
Yeah, shopping for a cause or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've got, Sunday night, though, from 6 to 8. 6 to 8.
I have
Right
no
here
idea.
at
Just tell me.
actually both stores, we have Friends and Family Night.
Oh, so just really fast, tell me.
Yeah. So,
So-
on this coming Sunday, which is the 24th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., both stores will be open, and there'll be some specials and discounts and things like that. It's a Friends and Family Night, so everybody can come out. They can, kind of start their holiday shopping, get a little discount, and just kind of enjoy the evening, getting out and come see the store.
So that's this coming Saturday?
That's this coming Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday,
I don't
Sunday, fun
know.
day.
Okay, from 6 to 8.
6
you
to
guys come and save money. And also we've implemented a rewards program at Soultopia. So just read your newsletter, and all this is
Yeah.
in your newsletter, or look at it on Facebook.
And then our Christmas party, though, is December the 7th.
Yeah,
December 7th, Christmas party in Carrollton location.
at the
that's
Carrollton
where it is.
location. Yeah, and a lot of people have already been it was at Bishop last year because it was our grand
Oh,
opening.
it's too busy, though.
And it was a little stuffy and crowded because of the space, but
So busy. Oh,
we have a lot of people who've already RSVP'd. Yes, so it's
yeah.
going to be fun. There are going to be a lot
Lots
of people
fun,
here.
Lots of fun.
Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining us, and thanks for hanging in there when we're a few minutes late, getting on the air or whatever you call it. And just, if you would, continue to listen on all of your podcast platforms. Like us, follow us on Soul What on Facebook, and on Michelle Soultopia on YouTube. You can watch us at any of those places. It helps if you'll like it, follow it, share it. It helps us a lot. And thank you for joining us for So What.
And watch us live, and we'll give you a call out.
Yeah, and but thanks for watching, where we talk about things that matter to our souls, and then you get to decide and contemplate whether it's something that matters to you, and it's up to you to decide. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
See
guys.
you next time. Bye.
Bye.